Faith Fraser alive. The very notion is enough to send shivers down one's spine. For so many years, Claire and Jamie Fraser have borne the crushing weight of their lost daughter's memory. The infant girl they were never able to hold, never to nurture. Faith represented more than a mere tragedy. She was the spectral echo of a future cruelly snatched from them, a cherished dream just beyond their grasp, or so it was believed. Yet, in the stunning initial moments of Outlander's 8th season, this specter might prove to be tangible. After all, what if the child they grieved, the one they were forced to entomb within their hearts, had, against all odds, impossibly survived? This potential revelation is so profoundly shocking, so utterly world-altering, that it threatens to unravel everything previously understood about the Fraser lineage. Could it truly be possible? Could Faith Fraser, the vanished child of the Fraser clan, have been concealed in plain sight throughout all these passing years? If she is indeed alive, where has she been dwelling? What sort of person has she become over this expanse of time? And perhaps the most deeply unsettling query of all, why choose to reappear now? Why manifest at a juncture when the world teeters on the very precipice of chaos, when the fabric of time itself seems to be fraying? This is not merely a narrative twist. It is a profound reckoning. The return of Faith Fraser is poised to irrevocably alter the destiny of the Fraser family, ensnaring Jamie and Claire in an intricate web of enigma, deceit, and peril that possesses the power to change everything. Outlander's 8th season commences not with the comforting warmth of a reunion, but with unsettling whispers that resonate across the ages, vibrating through their very souls and menacing to reshape their fate. Prepare for an odyssey where appearances are deceptive and the past, present, and future converge in a manner you could never have anticipated. The Fraser saga is on the verge of taking a momentous turn into the vast unknown. Claire finds herself tormented by visions of a young girl, a child with eyes strikingly similar to Jamie's. These visions possess a vividness that transcends mere dreams, feeling almost like tangible memories. But how could that be possible? Driven to unearth the reality behind these haunting images that besiege her mind, Claire undertakes a journey far darker and more treacherous than any she has previously confronted. What starts as a desperate quest for answers rapidly devolves into an inescapable descent into shadow, a perilous course laden with secrets, falsehoods, and dangers ambushing her at every juncture. This time, however, it is not only her sanity at stake, it is her very essence, and her life. For an unseen entity, somewhere, is resolutely determined to keep the truth concerning Faith deeply buried and will resort to any measure to ensure it stays concealed. Meanwhile, Jamie is fractured in ways he never thought conceivable. The sheer possibility that their daughter, the one he mourned, the tiny existence they were compelled to release, might still be living agitates him to his very foundation. How can he permit himself to hope without collapsing under the immense burden of it? How can he place his trust in a miracle when it could just as easily be a cruel, elaborate deception? Each clue, every fleeting hint of possibility, draws him further into a chasm of what-ifs, threatening to submerge him in a sea of sorrow. Together, Claire and Jamie dive headlong into a mystery more convoluted, more hazardous than anything they have ever faced. Their pursuit of faith guides them through a bewildering labyrinth of deceptions, where each step taken uncovers yet another layer of profound betrayal. Adversaries, both familiar and new, emerge from the lingering shadows, vengeful phantoms with unresolved scores and sinister forces camouflaged behind seemingly amiable facades. The Frasers soon realize they are ensnared in a lethal conspiracy, one with roots stretching back much further than they could ever have conceived. Faith, it now appears, is no longer a mere symbol of hope, but rather a formidable weapon in a complex game of power, retribution, and intricate manipulation. But what is the motive? Why would anyone abduct their child? Why conceal her for all these intervening years? And what depraved justification could there be for such appalling cruelty? Perhaps most terrifyingly, who has Faith become after a lifetime separated from the only individuals who ever genuinely loved her? What unspeakable horrors has she been forced to endure? And what will be the ultimate cost of bringing her back to them? As Claire meticulously follows the fragmented trail of clues, she uncovers a chilling, stark truth. Faith's reappearance is no miraculous event, but a meticulously orchestrated, deadly trap. It is a brutal, calculated move in an elaborate game of power, masterminded by an enemy all too familiar, whose insatiable thirst for vengeance has only intensified with the relentless passage of time. Faith is not an innocent, unwitting victim. She has been deliberately molded into a pawn, a weapon to be wielded in a clandestine war that Claire and Jamie were never even aware existed. And now, the desperate task of saving her falls squarely upon Claire's shoulders, but doing so may exact a price that costs her everything she holds dear. The return of Faith Fraser is not simply a dramatic plot development. It represents the complete unraveling of everything the Frasers have painstakingly built. It compels them to confront their most shadowed regrets, their most profound fears, and the terrifying, undeniable reality that sometimes the past refuses to remain buried. Sometimes, it resurfaces to reclaim you and everything you treasure. This isn't just the dawn of a new chapter in their lives, it's a profound reckoning, a gripping tale of love tested to its absolute limits, of loyalties irrevocably betrayed, and of a family pushed to the very brink of endurance. Faith's return doesn't merely alter the course of their lives, it transforms everything. And the truth, it is inexorably approaching. But no one is truly prepared for the utter devastation it will inevitably bring. As Claire delves further into the enigma of Faith's survival, her path intersects with someone from her distant past, a figure she never anticipated encountering again. Master Raymond, the enigmatic healer who once crucially saved her life, now holds the keys to secrets that transcend time itself. However, his arcane knowledge comes with a significant price. He cautions her with riddles, cryptically intimating that some truths are best left undisturbed. He reveals that Faith's existence was never intended to be discovered, and that pursuing this perilous path will lead to danger far beyond anything she could possibly conceive. Yet Claire remains relentless. She cannot allow fear to prevent her from finding her daughter, irrespective of the cost. Master Raymond's revelations only serve to deepen the swirling mystery. Faith, as it transpires, was taken at birth by an ancient, shadowy order known as the Shadows of Fate, a clandestine group that manipulates the currents of time for their own obscure and dark purposes. They perceived Faith's birth as an intolerable threat, a child born out of her proper time, whose very existence could shatter their established power and their meticulous control over history. To preserve their pervasive influence, they secreted her away, diligently erasing all traces of her presence. But something went awry. The timeline began to destabilize, and Faith's presence started to reverberate through the ages, a beacon calling out to her mother. Those disturbing visions Claire has been experiencing, they are not mere figments of her imagination or simple dreams. They are echoes of Faith's life, reaching across the centuries, desperately attempting to connect with her parent. Terrified by the staggering implications of this disclosure, Claire realizes with dawning horror that Faith has been alive all this time, growing up in a world where she remained ignorant of her true origins. But why manifest now? Why are these echoes surfacing at this particular juncture? After so many years of deafening silence, Master Raymond's words grow increasingly ominous. Faith is in grave, imminent danger. The Shadows of Fate are making preparations to eliminate her permanently, to restore the fractured timeline and safeguard their dominion. If Claire fails to find Faith in time, she will be irretrievably lost. With a heart simultaneously filled with profound love and gnawing fear, Claire races back to Jamie, bearing the devastating truth. However, Jamie's reaction is markedly different from what she anticipated. He is consumed by fury that she concealed the secret from him, fury that she risked everything in her solitary quest for answers. Beneath his palpable anger, though, lies the raw, unadulterated pain of a father who dared to allow himself to hope, only to have that fragile hope viciously dashed. Jamie cannot endure the thought of losing Faith again, not after all these agonizing years. But Claire refuses to surrender. She passionately convinces him that they must fight, regardless of the ultimate cost, because Faith is their daughter, and they will stop at absolutely nothing to bring her home. United, they embark on a perilous mission to locate Faith before it is catastrophically too late. But they are not the only ones engaged in this desperate search. The Shadows of Fate are already closing in, ruthlessly determined to expunge her from history for all time. As Jamie and Claire follow the ethereal echoes that ripple through the currents of time, they arrive at a horrifying, chilling realization. They are not pursuing a heartwarming reunion. They are walking directly into an elaborately constructed trap. A vast web of lies and intricate deception has been meticulously spun across the centuries, and with every single step they take, their every movement is being intently watched. Their adversaries, ancient, merciless, and infinitely patient, are lying in wait, poised and ready to strike the very moment the Frasers draw too close to the concealed truth. With each tantalizing clue that brings them nearer to faith, the encompassing danger intensifies. The path ahead is no longer merely uncertain, it is unequivocally lethal. A single misstep could irrevocably alter the course of history, unravel the very fabric of time itself, or instantly terminate their lives. Yet Jamie and Claire are no strangers to facing seemingly insurmountable odds. With their hearts inextricably bound by an enduring love and their spirits unyieldingly resolute, they refuse to turn back. They will risk everything, their safety, their future, even their very lives, to bring Faith home. However, with every advancing step, the shadows grow more audacious. They are not simply being followed, they are being actively hunted. Sinister figures move through time like malevolent phantoms, weaving between different eras with terrifying, unerring precision. Their enemies are not confined to a single moment in history. They are the vengeful ghosts of forgotten wars, the shadowy puppeteers of fate, steadfastly determined to keep Faith hidden from the world indefinitely. The Frasers find themselves racing not only against the relentless march of time, but also against an enemy that wields control over it. Their journey transforms into a grueling test of endurance, unwavering faith, and profound love, not just in each other but in the possibility of the impossible. They battle adversaries they never knew existed, confronting forces that defy the very laws of reality, all while desperately clinging to the fragile hope that their daughter is still out there, waiting. But the most haunting question they now face is no longer simply where is. It has become the far more urgent, will we reach her in time? Because if they fail, the truth about Faith's return will not culminate in a joyous reunion. It will signify the catastrophic end of everything they have fought for and the heartbreaking loss of everything they hold dear. This is no longer merely a story of love and loss. It has evolved into a desperate battle for legacy, for truth, and for the very soul of the Fraser family. And the final dramatic chapter has only just commenced. No place is safe. No one can be truly trusted. And the closer they draw to the elusive truth, the more lethal their relentless enemies become. In their arduous quest to find Faith, Jamie and Claire unearth an ancient, powerful artifact known as the Mirror of Echoes. This potent relic grants them the ability to glimpse fleeting moments from Faith's life, brief, heart-wrenching flashes of a little girl growing up utterly alone, perpetually wondering who she is and from whence she came. Claire watches in profound agony as she beholds Faith's face for the very first time, her daughter's eyes filled with an unmistakable longing and a deep, pervasive sadness. Jamie's heart shatters as he observes Faith's fiery, indomitable spirit, so strikingly reminiscent of her mother's, defiantly resisting the cruel, unforgiving world that has unjustly imprisoned her. These visions offer them a glimmer of hope, yet they also fill them with an overwhelming sense of fear. Faith is out there, but she is isolated, and her time is rapidly running out. However, employing the Mirror of Echoes carries a steep price. Every single glimpse into Faith's existence disrupts the delicate timeline, causing ripples that could potentially alter the past, the present, and the future. The more they utilize it, the more perilous it becomes. Time itself begins to fracture, reality starts to shift, and events from their own past are subtly changed. Cherished memories are insidiously rewritten. The world around them grows increasingly unstable and unpredictable. Jamie and Claire come to the stark realization that they are not merely fighting to save Faith. They are engaged in a desperate battle to preserve time itself. The shadows of fate are incandescent with rage that Jamie and Claire have discovered the Mirror of Echoes. They will do anything within their considerable power to prevent them from using it, even if it means resorting to killing them both. The Ancient Order dispatches their most lethal assassin, a man known only by the chilling moniker of the Whisperer, a shadowy, elusive figure, who can traverse time without leaving so much as a discernible trace. He hunts them with relentless, terrifying efficiency, always seemingly one step ahead, always just frustratingly out of sight. Jamie and Claire are critically running out of time, and the oppressive walls are inexorably closing. Desperate for any semblance of answers, Claire seeks out Master Raymond once more, but when she arrives at his concealed sanctuary, she finds it in utter ruins. Master Raymond is gone, his home ravaged by the destructive forces of the shadows of. Yet he managed to leave behind a final crucial clue, a map leading to the legendary Temple of Time, the very place where Faith was sequestered all those long years ago. It represents their only remaining hope, but the journey is fraught with peril, guiding them across treacherous, unforgiving landscapes and through ancient, crumbling ruins, filled with deadly, ingenious traps. With danger lurking at every conceivable turn, Jamie and Claire must rely on each other as never before. Their profound love for one another is their greatest strength, but it is also paradoxically their most significant weakness. The shadows of fate are acutely aware of this vulnerability, and they cruelly exploit it against them, conjuring vivid illusions designed to manipulate their emotions and shatter their spirit. Jamie is tormented by horrifying visions of losing Claire, while Claire is plagued by agonizing memories of Faith slipping irrevocably through her fingers. They are fighting not just for their daughter's survival but for each other, and for the very essence of their soul. As they draw nearer to the fabled Temple of Time, Jamie and Claire realize they are not merely confronting an ancient, malevolent order, they are facing destiny itself. The shadows of fate are the self-appointed guardians of time, the protectors of the established timeline. To save Faith, Jamie and Claire must consciously defy fate itself, effectively rewriting history and challenging the very fabric of time. But altering destiny invariably comes at a cost, and the consequences could prove to be utterly catastrophic. The tension is almost unbearable. The stakes have never been higher. Every single decision Jamie and Claire make possesses the potential to change the world as they know it. And as they prepare to venture into the formidable Temple of Time, one haunting question relentlessly plagues them. Can they truly defy fate, or will their desperate quest to save Faith ultimately lead to the end of them all? The battle is still far from concluded. The shadows of fate are ominously closing in, the timeline is rapidly unraveling, and the perilous journey to save Faith is about to reach its most dangerous pivotal turning point. Inside the Temple of Time, the very air hangs thick and heavy with an ancient, almost tangible magic, as if the essence of time itself were a living, breathing entity. The walls seem to subtly pulse with the faint whispers of long-forgotten voices, the lingering echoes of those who came before, their individual stories intricately interwoven with the very fabric of the temple. Every cautious step Jamie and Claire take brings them inexorably closer to a chilling, profound truth. They are standing at the epicenter of something far more powerful and ancient than they ever could have possibly imagined. This is no ordinary temple. It is a nexus, a sacred, consecrated space where the very boundaries of time converge and meld. It is a place where past, present, and future intertwine in complex patterns, where the fundamental laws of reality can be bent, artfully manipulated, and fiercely guarded. The labyrinthine corridors and cleverly hidden passages, meticulously carved by an ancient, unknown hand, are not simply remarkable architectural marvels. They are designed with one singular, terrifying purpose: to protect the greatest secret of all, the truth about Faith's existence, and to keep it locked away from the world forever. But they are not alone within these hallowed, dangerous walls. The Whisperer waits patiently in the deepening shadows, his oppressive presence an almost physical weight on the air, as menacing as it is disturbingly omnipresent. He is a figure of pure darkness. He is the very embodiment of Fate's most dangerous and effective weapon, a man who has painstakingly mastered the arcane art of time manipulation, capable of bending reality to his will with a terrifying and unerring precision. His very existence constitutes a formidable force, one capable of unraveling everything Jamie and Claire hold most dear. He is the solemn keeper of time's darkest, most guarded secret, and with every single step they take, he watches them, his cold, calculating gaze never once leaving their every move. As